Greetings. Yes, you're right. This is George Boston Rhymes. I'm in Valdosta, Georgia. I was just hit up on Facebook with a post about a noose hanging at a business here in Valdosta, Georgia in industrial. However, you didn't leave contact information. I've contacted some of my contacts and I understand that it's a big thing. But if you don't give some contact information, nobody can reach out to address this issue. That goes for CNN, MSNBC, Action News, etc., etc. You got to give information. If what we hear is true and what we just had happen with 31 people dead, somebody got to stand up. Somebody got to stand up and prove to the world that we indeed is a country, state, county, and city of laws. So if you know about the noose that was displayed allegedly at Bathcraft in Industrial Boulevard, is posted on Facebook, but what have you done? Who have you notified? Everybody's not going to do what you would do if 15 people walked off the job. Did you contact the Valdosta Daily Times, WALB, ABC, CBS, Nightline, Dateline, the Get To Free Press, the Atlanta Journal and Constitution, and get the word out? Because you know, as well as I do, that in Valdosta we don't really have a freedom of the press that will come into the black community and address your issues. So I got a call from Waycross, Georgia a few minutes ago. I went down through Industrial Boulevard. I talked to some businesses. But unless some real people come up, I'm not stepping out there on fake information. I don't even like sharing video that I haven't proved I had a live body to come and talk about. And if you're too afraid to come forward and talk, then don't post it on Facebook. Y'all have a nice day. Some of you all may ask me, Ryan, what am I talking about? Hell, I don't know, because the people that post it won't come forward and say nothing. And if you don't say nothing, it won't be nothing. Now, I got kind of hot, got kind of stirred up, because I'm a retired military veteran and we fought for this nation. And now we see this happening across the nation. But if we as black Americans, black Africans, black human beings, if we don't stand up for what is right, this nation is going to hell. We all must unite to help save lives here as we save lives on the battlefield. And as my granduncle invaded Germany and he came back alive, and a few years later the Germans could drink water and became citizens and could vote, but he couldn't. And so unless you stand up, man, nothing gonna change. Y'all have a nice day. Contact me. My phone number, email, everything is everywhere. Bobby Worthy and Waycross, NAACP, SCLC is standing by. Can't act if we don't know. Bye-bye. We're gone. Greetings. This is the Get To Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhymes. I'm in Valdosta, Georgia. This morning I was called by Bobby Worthy from Waycross, Georgia, and he told me about what was posted on Facebook. And he sent me some pictures, which I'm going to share in this video at some point. And we have several pictures here that we'll get into later. And after I looked at these pictures, I went on to McDonald's, get me a cup of coffee, and it looked like a Latino guy just walked over. I had met him some years earlier, and he said to me, have you heard what happened out to Jacuzzi?
It was Bathcraft.
I later found out that it was Bathcraft and not Jacuzzi, but he said you need to see what's going on. And so you all know me. I'm not like your mainstream news media who push things under the rug. I did my homework. I went to Jacuzzi. I met with the clerk, and the head person in there was not at the plant, but she said that that was the wrong place. And so we went to Bathcraft, but since we wasn't sure of what was going on, we said we need to contact some live bodies so we can find out what these pictures are all about. So today, we met because we have some concerned citizens. And so if you don't mind, again, I'm George Boston Rhines. I'm the Get To Free Press, Boston G.B.R. on YouTube, website georgebostonrhines.com or bostongbr.com. And look here, now I want you to listen and let some individuals talk to you about these pictures. I can't talk about them because I don't know a damn thing about it. What's your name?
My name Captain Wade.
And what kind of work do you do?
Fiberglass. I used to work at this company once. I worked there for 4 years.
What company are you talking about?
Bathcraft. The name of it now is AQUATIC, American Bath Group. But I'm currently employed at a better job, better paid, and treat the people way better. I've been there going on the 8th of a month that I've been there. Mm-hmm. And that's what looking at this disturbing picture right here has a lot to do with one of the reasons I chose to leave that job.
Okay. Well, since you was not there and you didn't see what you're talking about there, look at number 1, picture label mark number 1. Mm-hmm. Okay, just hold it up and tell me in your own words what that means to you. Although you wasn't there, what does that mean to you, and what is it?
Hang a black man. That's what that means. You see the noose right there behind the flag. And in this particular area, now let me remind you, I was a supervisor there. This particular area is only authorized to maintenance. That's the maintenance guy right there. Mm-hmm. This area is only authorized to him all day, every day. So for that to be hanging there, he got to have acknowledgement of it. Either he did it or he know who done it, because that's his area. He's held accountable for that area. So I don't see no other employees being able to come out their workstation to do this in a proper manner of timing and not be caught. Okay. Only a person who is authorized to that area have that time.
Okay, now you not working there, you have another job. You have another job, but if you was there and that had happened, what you think you would have done? How would you have received
I would have lost my job that morning.
Why?
I wouldn't have worked it. They couldn't. I wouldn't have worked it till they resolved that matter. That matter should have been resolved properly.
Okay.
You just can't say you just can't say I don't know who done it. I can't prove who done it. You already know who area that is. If you go over there and find something in that area, he's responsible. He's the only one that works in that area. That guy right there.
Okay.
That's his area daily.
Okay. And anything else you want to tell us? Your experience while working there. What kind of environment was there?
Well, in the environment, is more blacks than anything in the environment. Okay. And to be honest, it's a job. It is a job, but you're not being treated fairly. Mm-hmm. You're already coming in the door underpaid, automatically.
Okay. When you say underpaid, how much you start out with?
When I started, it was $9 an hour. Okay. Now they have a new pay scale of $10 an hour coming in.
And how long were you there?
I was there 4 years.
What was your ending salary when you left?
I was at $48,000 a year.
Okay. So
as a supervisor.
Okay.
But on salary.
Okay.
Anything after 4 hours, I don't get paid for it. My time stopped at 40, but you got to work at 75 to 80 hours a week. Anything after 10 hours overtime, you should compensate me something. I never got it.
So you would work up to how many hours?
75 to 80 hours a week.
Okay. Now is this is a tradition to work that many hours just every now and then?
It was every day. That was my schedule.
Okay.
I get there from 4:20, and I leave out there 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30 some night. Some night, and I left out there at 8.
Okay. And what kind of grievance? Did you ever state, did they have any grievance policy there? You get any insurance or anything like that? Benefits? How are your benefits?
I just had insurance. Other than that, it was just you work.
No benefits?
No benefits. It's just you work.
And what's the name of this company again?
AQUATIC American Bath Group.
Okay, but original name, everybody know it as
Bathcraft.
Bathcraft, okay. That's why we couldn't find it. We went out there because the name was changed.
They changed the name.
Yes, okay.
It's AQUATIC 56 to be exact.
AQUATIC 56. Look here, number one, thank you.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manningham was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified. And what's your name?
My name is Daryl Lamar Davis.
And
Senior.
okay, and was you the one that I talked to this morning?
Yes, sir.
You called me, right?
Yes, sir.
I didn't call you, did I?
No, sir.
Why did you call to get to Free Press?
Because it was action needs to be took, and no one would lead me to the right, direct path. So when someone called me named Bobby, told me to get in touch with you, we can go a little further with this. I did.
Okay. Now, what do you see wrong at this company, and do you still work at? And if not, why not?
I don't work there anymore because how I was getting treated. I mean, it was a thing about the pay and about all the hours, And I lost my sister at this, doing probably like a month ago, 2 months ago, and I had to worry about. I was job scared the whole time of the the grieving, at the funeral. I'm trying to get in touch with them, seeing I'm lost my job or not, and when stuff going on like that, don't supposed to happen like that, And like I said, man, just
Okay, so when you called me, you had posted something on Facebook, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, since you was the one that sent those to, that Bobby got from you, or he got them from you some kind of way.
Right.
Well, you may need to start at one and explain to what was going on there, and what do you have copies of there?
Okay, this is at AQUATIC in Valdosta, Georgia. It's a lynch and an American flag.
So when you say a lynch, you're saying a noose, right?
A noose, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And why you think someone would put that in a building right in front of the United States flag?
I couldn't say there's a lot of racism going on there.
You think a lot of racism there?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's one of the reasons I left there, because I was current in the office with 4 guys, which I could have put my supervisor or anything in, but they wouldn't let me do that. And they talked to me very badly. That's the reason I left.
Mm-hmm. When they talk real bad, what you mean by saying they talk real bad?
I done been at Bathcraft, 6.5, 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of experience. Mm-hmm. And I went in there, to talk about my pay rate, which my pay rate was at $10, which I was told that if I came back, that in 90 days that I would get a pay raise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Which we're going to talk about. They gave the whole finish line a pay raise and took it back less than 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm telling them, asking them, like, am I going to get that raise that y'all promised me at 90 days? They told me no, I won't get the raise because they ain't making enough profit.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. You was employed there before.
Yes, sir.
Explain that a little bit to us.
I was there.
How many years and that type of thing?
I was there, 4.5 years the first time I was there.
Okay. And what were your end and pay when you left?
When I left there, it was like $13.75.
Okay.
So, and when I came back, like I said, they told me they was going to start me with $10, which I was very fine with that. But when they told me 90 days, I get my, right pay that I was going to be getting, I was okay with that too. And my 90 days came up, which nothing changed. And I had a meeting with plant manager, his boss man, and another guy from Texas. And like I said, nothing didn't change. I told them about all the experience I had, and they pretty much told me my experience don't mean nothing.
And when you say experience, you had experience in what?
And a building bathtub as in fiberglass work. Finishing.
Okay, because you had been there before.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, now, when you look at those pictures, and we're going to close this out, but when you look at those pictures, who do you want to see those pictures, and what do you think can be done?
I want the world to see the pictures because see, we shouldn't have to work. You know, we shouldn't have to work like in this. You know, in this kind of thing. We shouldn't have to do this. And you know, people talking to us like we're still in slavery.
Well, I read that online. And what you mean they talk to you like that? They talk to everybody out there like that? The people that still working there, they still talk to them like that?
Yes, sir. I have people that still work there as in today. That's waiting to get out to talk to you. And man, they talk to everybody like either
Job scared.
yeah, I mean, you're pretty much job scared. You either show up or you can go on about your business. Okay. And like when I heard you ask Kevin Wade on the interview, you asked him about the benefits. Okay, they give us insurance. Yes, they do. But, you know, I can't use my insurance. You know, I'm on a point system that if I miss a day, I'm scared. I'm job scared. I'm probably going to get fired or pointed out. So, I mean, you're giving me something I can't use.
So do a lot of people turn over fast? I mean,
Yeah, turnover rate real high.
they don't stay there that long.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Nah.
And everybody there pretty near scared.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, now, you the second person that I'm interviewing.
right.
And we about to close this out. But what I want you to tell me is, have you ever filed a complaint about discrimination or EEOC or bad work environment or something wrong with your wages, anything like that? Have you ever filed a complaint?
Sir, there's been a lot of claims signed, and I don't ask for a lot of, you know, paperwork that never get to corporate, ever.
Okay. Do you have any copy of your paperwork that you've written to them?
The only paperwork I have is with Bathcraft.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. They have it.
You don't have a copy of it?
No, sir, I don't have a copy of it.
Okay. All right. So, thank you very much. And what's your name again?
My name is Darryl Lamar Davis.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified. Excuse me, what's your name?
My name is James Joyce.
And James Joyce, where did you work?
I formerly worked at Bathcraft, American Bath Group.
And what's your experience there?
Well, my experience as it wasn't a great place to work, but if you have to have employment, you know, sometimes you have to do things that you choose not to, and that was my experience. I was there 5 years. It hadn't always been terrible,
Okay.
but it got to that point.
Why did it get terrible there at Background?
I think ownership changed. The previous owner, I think he sold it, and eventually he passed away, and things went downhill from there.
Okay. So when did you leave?
I left this year.
This year. Okay. So you did not see these pictures then, right?
No, I didn't see them till a friend showed them to me.
Okay. And but as you look at them, hold up one of the big ones there and tell me, what do you think as a former employee? What do you think if you was working there? And if you see that right there, I don't know what time your shift or the shift changes, I'm not sure. But if you see that when you go into work, what does that say to you?
That's saying it's some racism going on there, and that's a place I don't want to be.
When you was there, did you ever file any complaints as far as discrimination, unfair treatment, anything like that?
Well, no, I didn't file complaints as in paperwork, but I did go verbally to the plant manager and voice my complaints, and I always got sort of brushed off or put to a point like, well, if you still want to work here, you got to, you know, let me take care of it, as in his work. But he never, ever made any progress of taking care of any of the things that I complained about or I voiced my opinion about, and some of them was verbally in front of other employees.
Okay. So how is the professionalism out there? Do they treat you like somebody or just, like he said, a slave?
Terrible.
Terrible.
It is terrible. I've worked to several places in my lifetime and in the industry, and I never worked under those conditions. Never. It's the worst place I ever worked at under those conditions, and the pay, the
Benefits?
plant manager benefits, all of that. It's no good.
Okay, and what's your name again?
James Joyce.
And how long have you left from out there? How long has it been since you left from out there?
Well, I left from out there,
About a month.
June of this year. June of this year.
Okay, so you just fairly left. Okay, thank you very much. And why are you here? Why did you take time out to come here today?
Because I'm not satisfied with this. I wouldn't care if I was a former employee or just an ordinary citizen that seen it. I do not appreciate this. I have kids, I have grandkids, I have loved ones, and I don't think anybody should have to go through what my grandparents. I thought my grandparents was the one that, experienced this and went through this type of situation. I never thought I'll be one of the ones that face this.
What kind of image do you think a Noose in August of 2019 says about Titletown, USA, the football capital of the United States of America? What does that say to the city of Valdosta in your own words?
To me, it says it's going to hell. It's just the truth. I think they got a lot of supporters supporting our president, and through him and his views, they just bold now. They just coming out and don't care. And this is one of the things that I see that, that show me they don't even, they don't hide it anymore. They don't care. They don't consider us as humans, I assume. I can't really tell you what they think, but I know what I think.
Right. Okay.
It's wrong.
All right. Thank you very much, my beautiful brother.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
I'm gonna go back to that. And like Calvin, and all of us will say it, with that unemployment, like what I was saying, I was hurt. They didn't give me my short-term disability, short-term, did nothing. They didn't want to give me the unemployment until I went file on the medical. You see what I'm saying? They had them put quit on the paper, just like Calvin said. They put a lot for black men that to block them, so they can't come. And see, like when you were asking the question why a lot of them haven't came out yet about what's going on, like I said, you're working at a company that, you got a job, and least thing you do, you ain't got a job. So you got family, you got people like us got families.
A lot of us just coming home from prison. I ain't been home but 8 months. Yeah. The day I came home, I started working out. That job
it means something to us. It's important to us and our family, how we live and how we take care of our family. For us to just be one minute we got a job, the next minute we don't have a job.
Yeah, let me share. Let me address another issue here, because I like going around the 360-degree circle, and I'm the dot in the circle. Do you think the company does a good thing by possibly hiring people that had a record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that's a good thing with the company?
They don't discriminate on that.
No, they don't discriminate.
Now you'll give them credit on that.
Because ain't too many people gonna walk in there and want to work at that company.
At that
now
company.
they hands down with that. You might get the job even quicker being on paper. 'Cause
Wow.
I'm fresh out of prison.
Okay, all right.
and
Thank y'all for your honesty. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the way I rotate.
Amen.
That's the way I just want. I want the truth, and everybody that I'm a retired veteran. I served 20 years, and my brother over here as well. I'm gonna get him to say a few words in a minute too. But we as veterans, we look for some changes after all these years. After we put our life on the line, I think he served in 2 wars. You see, or 3. But the bottom line is that I just want you all agree with that too. That
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
okay.
Definitely.
Okay, my beautiful brother, what's your name?
I'm Paul Ransom.
Mr. Ransom, I have the greatest respect for you. You're a little older than me, and you definitely, I see you with the Korean hat on, which I love, and Vietnam, right?
That's it.
That's right. And so I want you to give your name and tell us what do you think about what you have heard here today. And as well as the nooses, what do you say about that? Being 80-some years old, how do you see that?
Okay. Now, number one, let me say this to you guys that's working there. When you talk to somebody about a problem, if you don't put it on paper, it did not happen. Okay? No matter how illegible or how misspelled the words, you need to get the message across.
Documentation.
This is what's happening. If you do not document, it did not happen. The courts are in their favor, everything. This right here, this noose, now we know what that means. But a hangman's noose is supposed to have 13 loops. That's a hangman's noose without the 13 loops. It means that the message is across. If you don't act like you're supposed to act around here, this is what's in store for you. That's what they're saying. Okay? Now, I don't know where you're gonna work next, but wherever you work next, remember, I mean, it's gonna be the same thing. Long as you're black, you're not gonna get away from discrimination of some kind in the workplace. I was in the Air Force, almost 22 years, and there was discrimination. I worked for the California Department of Corrections for 20 years at the prison. I worked at San Quentin, some of the toughest prisons in the country. Folsom, San Quentin, Soledad. There's discrimination. I was hired at the prison because I was black and qualified. The white boys saw it only as I got hired because I'm black. And it didn't take long to prove myself. Most of the employees at the prison at the time, in the 80s when I worked there, most of the employees was white. And you heard of Patrice Rushing, you know, she is the singer. Her mother, Ruth Rushing, was the director of corrections in the state of California. She's the one that made the changes for the state of California. It was Ruth Rushing that started the education program, the vocational programs. Before she came along, prison was like a zoo, or like the wild, fighting, stabbing, killing, and all that stuff. But when they give people something to do, or something to spend your time, then all of this stuff, it goes away. But that was California. Georgia probably isn't like that from what I can hear with the prisons and the prison system here. It's not like that. But, you know, document everything. Another thing, keep it to yourself. The stuff that you document, don't broadcast it all over the place, because once they find out, they're gonna set up a program to counteract everything that you say. Wait until you need to document everything. You come to work late, they ding you, white boy, white girl come to work late, they don't say nothing, write it down, time, day, and date. Get witnesses, get all of that good stuff. And when it becomes necessary, when they've got you on the chopping block, now is the time for you to say, now here's what happened, here's the date, time, day, and date. No, when you got your documentation and your witnesses and all this stuff, there's nothing they can do except agree with you now. Okay, that's one of the things that did not happen as I'm listening to you guys here.
That's right.
One of the things that did not happen. Another thing I'm hearing, they got you at a disadvantage, no matter where you work. The prison hurt you. It did. And let me inject this. The 13th Amendment, they talk about all our rights, the human rights and all that stuff. Now, did you know what the second sentence in the 13th Amendment says? Get rid of slavery except for people that go to prison. That's the exception. When you go to prison, you are a slave. When you come out of prison, you are a slave. And they take advantage of it. I mean, it may not even be personal, it's just good business.
Yeah.
Just good business. You know, if you're in business and you're trying to make money, it's to your financial advantage to hire somebody that you can get them to do a $1 million job and only give them $25.
That's bad, Chris.
That's it.
So, Mr.
Do
Ransom,
that to 'em, yeah.
I stepped out for a minute, but short form, a man with your expertise, I would say, and experience, short form, what do you say about the nooses in the workplace in 2019?
It's a threat. That's what it amounts to. It's a threat. And it works. See, now here's what happens. You see stuff like this, and you get angry. You start fighting. Now, you won't lose your job because of the noose, because you got mad at noose. You could lose your job because you punched somebody in the mouth.
That's right. That's right.
The noose will never be mentioned.
That's right.
If it goes to court, they'll never mention it. But it's a setup. Get somebody angry, make them do something stupid. And when you fall for that, they got you. That's all that is, just a threat. That's all it is. They ain't gonna do, they talk a whole bunch of stuff. Anybody ever got hit out? Anybody ever put their hands on you? Ever? In all this time? Anybody walk to you, push you? You ever do that? See?
I'm gonna go crazy. They're gonna be no trick. They're gonna be no trick.
They got you with this. They get you
That's
acting
right.
crazy. I'm quitting my job all day. And somebody else just getting out of prison. They come along and doing the same way. It's a never-ending flow of talent. Okay?
Let me get ready to close this out, but let me compliment you all.
Oh, yeah.
I criticized you first because you didn't do your homework. They taught us in the military. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen.
That's right.
Okay, now number two is, I commend you because even in the military, I have known black men to just hit people and take them out. But I see something that is happening among the black race today, is that they are using their brains instead of their fists.
Right.
So I commend you all for that. Now, the news don't offend me, but it does make me think about the black souls that was lynched in Brooks County, because I'm from Brooks County. We have their names. We know about the Week of Terror, May of 1918.
Mary Turner.
Yeah, 1918.
I think, yeah, 19.
Yeah, 1918, because the Rose opened in 23.
1819.
Yeah, no, it was 18. I know it was 1918. I got it now.
No, it was 100 years ago. 1918 was 100 years ago.
Well, we're not going to debate that, but I'm going to say 1918, because 1918, 21, 22, 23, and I remember me and Robinson went to Rosewood, and that murder and lynchings or whatever 3 years later. Okay, so the bottom line is this. There are souls that are crying out in Brooks County because black folk couldn't do nothing. And if you're not careful, we got people that's still working out the way you all came from. Nothing will happen unless somebody do something.
That's right.
You all have did something today, but personally, I appreciate you calling me.
Right.
Appreciate you sending me this information because I wouldn't have known nothing.
Right.
But I wish that somebody that's out there now,
That's right.
they don't have to make themselves known. There's ways of doing things.
Right.
And so we're not gonna put this part on. You don't want nobody to know what you're doing. So let me say this in closing. I wanna thank you all for having the courage to come. How old are you, my brother?
I'm 28 years old.
Young man.
Yes, sir.
And standing up.
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing.
Because I'm from Brooks County, like you said. You from Brooks County?
Yes, sir.
And you know, back in the day, my grandma used to mention that you know they closed everything at Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It was lunch time. Okay, which had nothing having changed. You got stores and store owners and everything still closing on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock in Brooks County. And you know, and growing up in Brooks County, you know, you could be young and scared. You know, anything that was going good for you was to get on the football team, which was all black mostly, and you better not get caught too far in the country on the wrong side.
But listen, you guys know people are still out there, right?
Yes, sir.
It's all about
Tell them
documentation.
to document stuff, write stuff down. When it happens, write it down. Time, day, the date, who, what, where, when, and if you know, why. Write all of that stuff down. This is the information that you got to have.
Yes, sir.
And keep your eyes and ears open and your mouth shut.
And just because
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
public wasn't notified.
Ladies and gentlemen, the meeting of Mayor and Council for August the 8th is now in session. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a portion of our meeting where citizens are allowed to come forward and speak. We ask that you have 3 minutes to speak, and we ask that you state your name. We will get back to you and try to solve any problems that you might have. So, at this time, are there any citizens to be heard?
George Russell Rhines, this mayor and council, main freedom of the press is very important to this nation. It is what distinguishes us among many other nations follows law. Sunday, I had no knowledge of what I'm about to talk about, what you see on those pictures over there. But Monday morning, about 9:10, I received a phone call about a local business having just available. And there was a noose displayed in the work area. And when they called me, I did what is required, and I believe what the founding fathers of this nation would be proud of. I didn't sit on it, I didn't hide it, I didn't cover it up, but I wanted to move on it in a professional manner. So as I speak about the season, I will not mention the business name, nor the people that work there, but I will say that I have interviewed people for the last 3 days who want it to be known that they were not happy in that workplace, and they did everything they could to keep from getting violent. I want to pass that on to the mayor council. I'm sure that some of you have already heard about it. I'm not sure if our mainstream news media will ever report it to you or the general public. But I will in a few more days. The reason I'm not going to break the news and break this story is because I want to see our mainstream news media accommodate the people that call me when they should have been calling people in my opinion who get paid for this, but I don't get paid for it. But I love this republic. I served this country for 20 years. And I do believe that when we say Metro City and when we say freedom of the press, that citizens have a right to know what is going on in their beloved communities, and in my most humble opinion, whether it be radio, TV, or whatever, should not be quiet. Because when you hang a noose up, it really offends a lot of people because they have the history of the nooses and what happened to black people in this country from the year 1555 until 2019. Y'all have a nice day. Please give notice and attention to this. But I promise you, it will not be held secret by me. I'm gonna wait for them to do what they should do. But if they don't, George Boston lines to get to free press. We will, because we love you just that much.
Thank you, sir. Are there any other
You're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
No, she get through.
That's not. The fourth black man with something to say about this company. And what's the name of this company?
AQUATIC Bathcraft from Maryland.
And used to be
Bathcraft.
And what's your name?
Kelvin Wade.
And what did you do at this company?
I was a gun operator, jail coder. I moved around doing numerous jobs.
Okay. And when we say that, what does that entail?
What you mean?
What do you do? What do you do? Hands-on?
Hands-on. I'm hands-on work.
Work, okay. When did you leave?
About a month ago. This is my third time working there.
This is your third time. Why did you leave the other times you were there?
I moved out of town.
Okay, different reasons. Okay. But when today they showed you those pictures, do you think that's a reflection of what goes on there? And why did you come with these individuals
to tell your story? It's very much a reflection. I feel like this. That same picture right here. If they would have had somebody would have had a Black Panther sign up there, whatever person, black man that was responsible in that area, they'd have been fired right then. No question there. They done got rid of would have been a Black Panther flag up there. That black man would have been fired who over that work area. He wouldn't have been no question there. Okay, but that's a United States flag. There's nothing wrong with the flag, is it? No, it's the noose behind the flag, in front of the flag. Okay, the noose. Okay, we can't see it. Pick up the bigger one because we can't see it. Oh, so that's the problem. That's the problem. And do you think the managers, supervisors, corporate office knew anything about that type of feelings or that type of thing going on? They're aware of it because 90% of the blacks that work there, they get underpaid. And 90% of the blacks that get fired from there or resign from there, 90% of the blacks don't get unemployment. But if you go back and check the books, the records, the white folks get there. Every black man that filed for unemployment, they fight against it. You never get it. Because they're going to go back because of the color of your skin. They write it up wrong. They write it, when you leave, they don't put on their paperwork why you really left. They write it up in a way where you won't be able to get your unemployment. That's right. But the whites get there. Okay, what's your name again? Kelvin Wade. Kelvin Wade, hold on just 1 minute, okay? What's your name again, my brother? Kelvin Wade. What was your name, Kelvin Wade? Kelvin. I'm Kelvin. Kelvin, y'all brother? We twins. Oh, okay. I'll be quiet. Okay, so tell us again about that unemployment. Because you said you got something to say on that too. Because I was a supervisor there, so all us worked together. Once they departed from that job, the proper way to write it up, is not written up the proper way. You're writing this paperwork up as if they quit or they just refuse to work to deny the unemployment for the black people. For the blacks. So now when they go fight for the unemployment for whatever circumstance it is for them having to leave, now you got when they go get their paperwork, they're like, man, that didn't happen. You wrote this up wrong. It's nothing said. Push up on the rug. And the reason being because so many people had kept their mind closed over the years, letting them get away with it. But that's why we're here now to let our voices be heard, to motivate other people that still stuck in this work environment. Because what's not fair to me, like I said, I was a supervisor. Give me chill talking about it. I was a supervisor. If I would have came in to that morning, like I said, it's not the flag the problem, it's the nuisance. Mm-hmm. That guy who's authorizing that area, if he didn't do it, I would have tore it down because I wouldn't have wanted to disturb nobody else from seeing that ignorance. He didn't tear it down. I got the picture something me that morning. You went and got some black guy to show them what's hanging up here, like it's a game, like it's really a game, like because I'm far from prison. All of us are far from prison, so I ain't gonna condone nothing that I don't entertain. I don't entertain racism. So why should a company as good as AQUATIC 56 supposed to be with all these vendors? Why would you support that? Why would you still let that same maintenance man who authorized in that area still be employed there? But only excuse you can give it, you can't prove he did. You can't prove he did it. He's the only one authorized in that area. Now remind you, it's only one shift. So in order for you to do that, if you didn't do it that day before you got on, you had to do it early that morning before the shift started. Maintenance the first one in that building every morning. Everybody know who got keys to that gate. Maintenance they the first ones in there. So you had to do it. If you didn't do it that evening before you got on, you came in there before everybody started shift and you hung that. You could already probably had the flag up, but you throw that nuisance up. You had to do that in the time when everybody else was working, where nobody couldn't just say, oh, I just seen the maintenance man over there doing that. That's an authorized area. Nobody, I was a supervisor there. Nobody's authorized to be in that area but maintenance. Gotcha. Now, two questions. One, come back to you. So you're saying that the unemployment, if somebody, let's say CNN, MSNBC, Nightline, Dateline, Your Line, or whatever, asked the company to produce the record on people that did not get unemployment, you think that it would show that black people was the majority of people? Without question. If they doing the documentation right, it'll show how you wrote it up, and you go ask that each individual, how sides of the story. What was, I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, you might have some on written up right, but 9 times out of 10, you got over half of them written up wrong. Okay. I guarantee you that.
Okay, since you was a supervisor, I want to ask you this question too. How many people do you know that retired from out there with some type of retirement?
None. Not name. Name.
All the years.
You don't retire.
You don't retire it?
No, not that ain't it. No.
Like 401k, they got a 401k.
They got 401k. The only thing that job there is for with the environment, it's just a stepping stone. It's not a career.
Okay.
It's just a stepping stone now.
Give me your name once again.
Calvin Wade.
And how long you worked there?
For a year.
As what?
As a supervisor. For my last year, I was a supervisor. First 3 years, I was a regular employee, but I done everything through the plant.
And what was your closing pay?
I left there probably $20 out, $21 out.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's get back to you, my brother. Any closing remarks you want to give my brother?
I had this one accident happen. The day I resigned. They give you these uniforms when you're chopping the tub. You're going out.
Wait, hold your point. When you say resign, explain that.
I quit.
Okay.
I quit.
I just want to know. Go ahead.
This particular morning we come in, and in the chop bay where you put the fiberglass and the resin on the tub, you got to wear these suits. Ain't nothing but black folks chopping. You got 3 gun operators, and all 3 gun operators black. Now you want to start taking us, every day we got to pay for our suit. The money gonna come out of our check. But we need that to perform our job. The white guys that need the suit, they don't get charged for it. But
come on, man.
The black guys that needed these suits, the particular day you want to charge us for them, that's the day I quit. Because I refuse to let you take some out my check that I need to do my job.
Okay, does anybody else in here know about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He's right. I mean, about the paying for the suits.
Yes, sir.
And the work in that area, you have to have them suits. Period.
Yes, sir.
You know, and to charge somebody, you know, the body suit just for them to come to work. I mean, how you gonna pay to work? You know what I'm saying?
How much suits cost, by the way?
They were charging like $3 a suit.
Yeah, it's
Every type of work you do, you might go through 2 suits a day. Because if the resin get on it, burn through your skin, it'll actually burn your skin.
Right.
You might have to change 2 suits. But they only did, when it was, ain't no racist, I ain't got a racist bone in, but when it was white guys in there chopping, you never did that. But now you got a majority of blacks in there working throughout the whole company. You want to start charging because you feel like blacks, like we wasting their material. You trying to get some of your money back, and the blacks the one putting most of the hours in. We never got to thank you for putting this on. It was plenty of days you don't even have time enough to spend with your family. Because it came down one time that he made a remark, let the monkeys work. It came.
Wait, I don't want to call no name. But who said that? A supervisor said that?
That's the plant manager had said.
The plant manager said, I don't want no name because you are doing good. We don't want to put nobody's names out there because I don't know where it's going. My purpose is that somebody can see what's going on here in Valdosta. I have heard other things at some other places, but people are not willing to come out and speak like you all are doing today. Yeah. Go ahead, my brother.
They said that he said let them monkeys work. He was going to work us till the sun go up and the sun go down. And he did just that. He did just that.
But can I ask you something? Because I'm not that smart. I rode the short bus to school and didn't have no tires on it. So when they say use a monkey, I mean, I need some help on that. What does that mean?
Calling you a nigger.
Oh.
That's just a way he trying to clean it up, calling you a nigger.
And then it's followed up by nooses being displayed.
Exactly.
What's your name once again, brother?
Calvin Wade.
Calvin Wade. And this your brother?
Yep.
Y'all twins?
Yes, sir.
God bless you. My beautiful brother.
All right,
what's your name?
Willie Akins.
Last name?
Willie Akins.
Akins. You got any cousins over in Whipple?
Mm-hmm.
There's some Akins over there.
Yes, Madison.
Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, but do you still work there?
No, I'm working
When did you leave?
about 5 months ago.
How long did you work there?
About 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, about 5.
What was your ending pay?
15, I think. Yeah.
15, okay. Okay, now, why did you leave?
For one thing, I hurt my shoulder back, and I was out, and we were running night shift. And Calvin Wade, he was supervisor, lead, and he was running things.
Okay.
But anyway, I left, come back after 3 days with my shoulder, and I turned my paperwork in, and they really want to acknowledge it, and then I just
When you say they didn't, when you say they didn't want to acknowledge, break that down for me.
It was like you gonna work, it don't matter if you gonna buff, you gonna sing, that don't matter.
That don't matter.
Yeah.
And while we in this bucket, what kind of supervisor was this young man right here?
That was a good supervisor. He laid.
He showed concern for
Not
people.
because he said that, because that's that's type of fella he
I'm a
He made things professional. He done things professional.
Okay, go ahead, my brother.
I said he done things professional. You asked what kind of supervisor he was.
Yes, okay. And so you think that he had some type of professional leadership skill?
Yeah, he did have. Yeah.
Okay, yes, sir, my brother. You had something to say?
Okay, what I'm coming to say is that you're dealing with two former supervisors.
Yes.
Will Aiken was a supervisor and Kevin Wade was a supervisor.
Good point. Hold on, come back to you. Now, you was a supervisor. And how long was you a supervisor?
About a year.
About a year?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you, brother.
Right. Yeah, what I'm coming to say is that, he got hurt and came back. They snatched all his, his rank. And, that's what happened when money and all. And then when I first, was working there, that's the same thing they did to me. I got hurt. They wanted me back on the floor, but, I guess with their rules, I couldn't have a cast on at the job. So they pretty much put me on unemployment. And, like you said, don't call the name, but a supervisor called me back before my time was up, which I still had the cast on, but I couldn't be on the floor. And they just cut my whole unemployment and all.
Okay. And it was another thing when you cut him off. It's like this is where you can tell the racism for real. Like you got a handful of whites, majority blacks. When a white person come up and tell you they got to leave for a certain reason early, it's no problem. Plant manager cool with it. But when it's a black person come and say they got to do, you might not have a job. You gonna have some kind of lashback with that from the black man trying to go home and handle some of his business. Because some days you get out, he don't even got enough consideration to let you pay your bills. You working 6-7 days a week. You getting up at 7 o'clock at night. You ain't even got. We done had numerous meetings about this. He don't even want to try to address it till when the black man comes speak for, hey, could we get off this time, at least on Friday, so we go pay our bill? It's a problem. But when a white guy, and I've seen it more than one time, go and say he need to go handle something, it's no problem. I'm talking about no stat. He can go handle it, but a black guy do it, you might lose your job. You're going to get a point or something.
Who do we have to blame today? What does the citizens know? The citizens are still in pain. I have talked to approximately 15 people. Only 11 is willing to go on camera. If you go to Boston G.B.R, you will see them talk about it. Not only the Noose, but a whole lot of other stuff going on. And it's not a game, y'all. It's not a game.
We were certainly concerned about that, Mr. Rhymes, and we had the police investigate that thing immediately as soon as we found out. I don't know whether you're aware of that or not, but we did. And they addressed the situation down there, and the business took care of it.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, and now
you're not going to let me say anything? Respond?
No, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
We were certainly concerned about that, Mr. Rhymes, and we had the police investigate that thing immediately as soon as we found out. I don't know whether you're aware of that or not, but we did. And they addressed the situation down there, and the business took care of it.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, and now
you're not going to let me say anything? Respond?
No, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like
It's a serious matter. Serious matter. Mr. Mayor.
All right, and now
you're not going to let me say anything? Respond?
No, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
All right, and now
you're not going to let me say anything? Respond?
No, so you approve.
That's not good either. Respond?
No, so you approve.
That's not
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into, it was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we're supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
We did do what we're supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
We did do what we're supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
We did do what we're supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
From listening to you all, and if my ability to count is correct, there are 5 of you all, and maybe more.
Yeah, there's plenty more.
But my question is, how could workers in 2019 let all this go on, and you haven't found a civil rights organization, you haven't found a news media outlet, you haven't found anybody that would, attorney or somebody to look into your situation? Why haven't you all done that? Somebody. Why haven't somebody done
I'm
that?
gonna be honest with you. Because, and I can speak for me. Coming up where I growed up, we were like, you say something to me, we gonna get it. You say something out of the way, me out of pocket, we gonna get it. So it was always like push up on the road, no, you ain't talking to me. But now I'm at an age now, I'll be 44 this year, we'll be 44 this year. Now I'm at an age now where I ain't fighting with this. So I'm gonna use this. I mean, so even though I'm not employed there, I still got friends there. I still got people I still communicate with there. So that's how the picture was able to get to us, because we still communicate with people in that environment. Okay, it was a lot of stuff done while we was there. Even myself pushed up under the rug. But when you get stuff like this, you coming in from work, and you see stuff like this, and you done worked it 12, 13 hour shifts, and you coming in and to see this, not the flag, but the noose that's in front of the flag, that's like a kick in the face. That's like you got spit in the face.
While I'm focused in on that noose, what does that say to a black man down south when he see it anywhere? What does it say to you? What does it say to you?
It says, hang a nigga. That's what it say. Hang a black man. But to me, see, it makes me angry. Right now I'm getting mad now because of the fact it's not the flag, it's what's in front of it. In 2019, we still got this going on. We know it's not gonna disappear. We know it's gonna be, some of it gonna be swept up on the road. But for this to come in, you to come in, and the majority of this plant is ran by black. Blacks are more dominant in this plant. For them to come in and see this, you don't appreciate it. Because if you had, as you appreciate it, the person who seen this would have tore it down before the shift even got in. I would have took a picture as a supervisor. I would have took a picture, tore it down, and showed it to my supervisor. That's the proper way. I wouldn't have let everybody came in and got all riled up because it is ignorant. Now, as the plant manager or whoever I go to, he got to address this, because you don't want the people to get riled up about this, because that's like you spitting out their face.
Do you all remember, I don't know how many years ago it was, but the government ruled that the Noose represent a felony. That's federal now, the Noose. If I'm not mistaken. Bob Worthing, I'm going to call him, and I want him to talk to you all about that.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into, it was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assess the situation, talk to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
Wouldn't care if I was a former employee or just an ordinary citizen that seen it. I do not appreciate this. I have kids, I have grandkids, I have loved ones, and I don't think anybody should have to go through what my grandparents. I thought my grandparents was the one that, you know, experienced this and went through this type of situation. I never thought I'll be one of the ones that face this.
Say that we do take everything serious, and that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified. What kind of image do you think a Noose in August of 2019 says about Titletown, USA, the football capital of the United States of America? What does that say to the city of Valdosta in your own words?
To me, it says it's going to hell. It's just the truth. I think they got a lot of supporters supporting our president, and through him and his views, they just bold now. They just coming out and don't care. And this is one of the things that I see that, you know, that show me they don't even, you know, they don't hide it anymore. They don't care. They don't consider us as humans, I assume. You know, I can't really tell you what they think, but I know what I think.
Right. Okay.
It's wrong.
All right. Thank you very much, my beautiful brother.
Say that we do take everything serious, and that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into, it was not taken lightly, so I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So, I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified. Let me get ready to close this out, but let me compliment you all.
Oh, yeah.
I criticized you first because you didn't do your homework. They taught us in the military. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen.
That's right.
Okay, now number two is, I commend you because even in the military, I have known black men to just hit people and take them out. But I see something that is happening among the black race today, is that they are using their brains instead of their fists.
Right.
So I commend you all for that. Now, the news don't offend me, but it does make me think about the black souls that was lynched in Brooks County, because I'm from Brooks County. We have the names. We know about the Week of Terror, May of 1918.
Mary Turner?
Yeah, 1918.
I think, yeah, 19...
Yeah, 1918, because the Rose was in 23.
1819.
Yeah, no, it was 18. I know it was 1918. I got it now.
No, it was 100 years ago. 1918 was 100 years ago.
Well, we're not going to debate that, but I'm going to say 1918, because 1918, 21, 22, 23, and I remember me and Robinson went to Rosewood, and that murder and lynchings or whatever 3 years later. Okay, so the bottom line is this. There are souls that are crying out in Brooks County because black folk couldn't do nothing. And if you're not careful, we got people that still working out the way you all came from. Nothing will happen unless somebody do something.
That's right.
You all have did something today, but personally, I appreciate you calling me.
Right.
Appreciate you sending me this information because I wouldn't have known nothing.
Right.
But I wish that somebody that's out there now,
That's right.
they don't have to make themselves known. There's ways of doing things.
Right.
And so we're not gonna put this part on, you don't want nobody to know what you're doing. So let me say this in closing. I wanna thank you all for having the courage to come. How old are you, my brother?
I'm 28 years old.
Young man.
Yes, sir.
And standing up.
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing.
Because I'm from Brooks County, like you said. You from Brooks County?
Yes, sir.
And, you know, back in the day, my grandma used to mention that, you know, they closed everything at Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It was lynch time. Okay, which had nothing having changed. You got stores and store owners and everything still closing on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock in Brooks County. And, you know, and growing up in Brooks County, you know, you could be young and scared, you know, anything that was going good for you was to get on the football team, which was all black mostly, and you better not get caught too far in the country on the wrong side.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, you guys know people are still out there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's all about
Tell them
documentation.
to document stuff. Write stuff down. When it happens, write it down. Time, day, the date. Who, what, where, when, and if you know, why. Write all of that stuff down. This is the information that you got to have.
Yes, sir.
And keep your eyes and ears open and your mouth shut.
And just because you see something wrong, you know you wrote it down and documented, still keep your mouth shut.
That's right.
Let 40 things happen if necessary. So when you do open your mouth, you'll be talking like a king
That's right. All right.
and marching to the bank.
That's right.
Now, I hear some of you guys said you got hurt out there on the job. You hurt on
Yeah, I
the
do.
job. You do?
No.
And you were on the job.
Right.
What year was that, brother? When did you get hurt?
15.
I've been 15, yeah.
Oh, 2015?
Right.
That's kind of long.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened as a result?
Sir, didn't nothing happen. I lost my job.
And it boils down to what y'all saying, documentation.
They document.
Yeah, but us, as we should have been.
Okay.
And you're working on another job, it's applicable to your new job.
Yeah, that's right.
It's applicable.
That's right.
When
I just learned something.
Yes,
You
sir.
had to go to the hospital?
Yes, sir. I went to the airport clinic.
You had to go to the hospital?
Yeah, I was in ER.
Okay.
What year was
It's
this?
in the office.
Documented.
5 months ago.
Now, you speak 5 months ago.
Right. This before I left them. Just before I left them. And then documentation is in the office and
Okay, where's your documentation?
I can't say where mine at now, but
The ones that you wrote down, the stuff that's
but they gave me a paper and I couldn't find it, you know what I mean? I ran a copy of where I had been because I was out those 3 days, and when I came back, I don't know what I did with mine.
But wherever you went,
Yeah,
they
but
should
yeah,
still have
yeah, at ER.
What he's saying is, regardless of that, you should have still had the time,
Your
date,
stuff.
and stuff.
Your
Yeah.
document.
Yeah.
Let me give you all a key. Anything that you sign your name on, get a copy of it, even if you have to pay for it.
And
Always remember.
That brings me back to a point about
And know where it is.
That's right.
when I was there, the plant manager, he didn't. I don't think he cared for me personally because I voiced my opinion. I didn't hold back, and I voiced my opinion, but I let my work speak for itself. Anybody that have worked with me and worked there during that period of time, that was their words was I was the best finisher they had. Now, that was their words, not mine. But I let my work speak for me. But during that time, I would work. I would train other fellows. Matter of fact, I trained this fellow. This was my supervisor, Calvin Wade. And during in that period of time, incident came up to me. I just thought about it. They had to do some repairs on the road.
Yeah.
And my supervisor came to me and asked me, he said, James, would you like to go on the road, make a little extra money? And, I said, sure, man, yeah, I'll do that. And he said, okay, well, you go on the road with him and help him fix some tubs. So I had them took it upon me that my supervisor came to me and told me that I had the job, going on the road, helping him fix the tub. Next thing I know, the white boy came and told me, white fella, Mike, came and told me, well, no name, but he came and told me, he said, well, I'm going on the road with Chris now, and we'll be back soon. I say, you too? Because I looked at him like, you too? And then it just, I guess they ain't wanted to be with no blacks on the road because it was strictly white people.
Well, let me ask you a question. Y'all use y'all keep using the term black. Why y'all everything black? Why y'all always bring up the race issue?
Well, that's just a way we talk from time to time. We just use it as a adjective or whatever.
No, that's the problem. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why you use, because that's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem.
And they push it.
Yeah.
But I learned something valuable, documentation. Carry a long way, right then.
Right.
Write it right then.
And they would.
Safeguard it. Don't just write it down.
That's right.
Safeguard it. Keep it somewhere. And you don't need to tell everybody. My mother, or my ex-mother, used to say, don't let him get a fish out the water but his mouth.
Okay.
Don't tell it. You write it down and put it somewhere and keep it handy. Okay? And add to it. Every single day you work, something happens that needs to be documented.
Sometimes they're good,
Yeah.
not all the bad.
Absolutely.
And they try to put you in a position where you destroy yourself. Like me, I was there like those 5 years, and out of those 5 years I was there, at least 3.5, 4 of them, I probably only missed 2 or 3 days total.
And see, document that stuff. That's the kind of stuff you got to document.
And the
All
last,
things.
once that new regime came in, I pointed out.
You're tired. You're
I pointed out. And then the reason for that, the body was worn down, and other reason, they have the system where it doesn't work for you. I had personal time, personal days and all that, but I couldn't use them unless they tell me I could.
Right.
So if I got sick or some, matter of fact, the day I pointed out, got sick, I couldn't use my personal time
Or your vacation.
or my vacation. I left there with vacation. Then they wouldn't give it to me.
So you didn't get no pay, no compensation for that?
None.
No.
I pointed out, got no unemployment, no vacation time, no anything.
See, and it's been going on.
Yeah.
It ain't just
Nothing.
It's been going on.
And
Somebody just never seen
that
it.
was my supervisor. And I called him that morning and told him the situation I was in. I was sick, throwing up. I had made it to the parking lot, other job, went to throwing up, had to go back home. And I could have used a personal day or a sick day or whatever you want to call it, because I had them. I had been there and accumulated time. I had vacation time as well. I pointed out so because I felt as if the plant manager didn't like me voicing my opinion and speaking up, because I spoke up when the time came, and he didn't like when you speak up.
Yeah. Okay, let's bring this to a close now. And I have one question. I've thought about it 3 or 4 times and I forget it. So I don't want to forget it. And you all leave. I'm gonna ask you first. How many blacks work out there and about how many whites?
Say about 30, 40 blacks, and about less under 10 white.
My brother, what's your...
About the same, about 30, 40 black, about 10 white, about 8 to 10 white.
How many top-level black supervisors?
One.
Does he have a voice?
No.
You agree with him?
I say the roster holds 70 people there. 70 people. So I give it 60 I give it 55 on black. You might got about 3, 4 Mexican and the rest of it Caucasian.
So 75%.
75%, 90%.
Okay. Would you agree with that, brother?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do.
You agree with that too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you believe in your heart of hearts, with the number of black people that keep that plant running or afloat, that somebody that's black ought to be somewhere in top level management?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
After these many years, I mean, that's been out there a good while, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it
It
has.
got a new name, but I think it's been there for a pretty good while.
Yeah.
And you, would I be safe in saying that there is no retirement plan?
Yes, sir.
You're correct.
Yes.
There is.
Would I be safe in saying there's no real benefits
Yes, sir.
except your 401k?
That's it.
Some places like that now, so it ain't like, you know. So.
Right.
That's not
And-
a career job.
Right, you said that before. That's right. Yeah.
It's
Not a career job. Okay.
But even though, I do want to say that, even though that y'all have taught us some valuable lessons, what need to be done, not just there, but in our future. But even though that if we don't affect the problem that they have, at least somebody who's still there will hear us coming forward and they'll push forward with it. You know what I mean? So it's not about us. It's about those who left behind right there still in. Because we're away from it,
Yeah.
but our friends and
Oh,
family
we
still
once
in it.
was in that
Yeah,
situation.
I'm cool because I'm not going back there, but I don't mind voicing my opinion to what's really going on to help somebody else that's there open their mind
Nah.
and do it the proper way.
Go ahead.
And you know, I try to get everybody together today, you know, to come to the meeting, which, like I said, there's a lot of them still work out there. And, you know, the first thing they'll say, you know, he got with everybody, the guy that sent me all the pictures and, you know, and keep me updated, he got with everybody. And the first thing they say, they're scared. They just scared. They know they're going to get fired, they step forward. And, you know, it's not right. But, like I said, it's plenty of people willing to talk to you.
He ain't more worried about who hung the noose. He worried about who took the picture so he can file.
Right.
That's
Right.
what he worried about.
Run that by me again.
He ain't more worried about the noose. He more worried about who took the picture so he can file him.
Right.
You think so?
I know
sir.
so.
I know so.
That's right. And to me, this picture remind me, I'm gonna tell you, I was like, where I was speaking the other day on. They can't do it this way no more. So they work you. They say, we can't hang you like this, but we can kill you by working you. Like this.
That's a threat. That's a threat. That's why this is money to me. Somebody gonna do it. That's what it is. Like,
That's why they work you all those hours. If you look back, and it's been about 10 or 15 years, or maybe a little longer. I know a couple of people. They got it was in the old break room up there. They had a plaque where they warned the people that, and majority of them were black people that died, that they worked, that fell dead at their job.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing.
And as a
People don't,
supervisor,
that people don't talk about.
It's an old Bathcraft had it that way.
Yeah, old Bathcraft.
We used to walk in, you see all the plaques that
Yeah, you see
all
the
the
plaque.
people that done put in all the time, you know, grandparents, great grandparents,
That's
that
all
done
they
put all
got.
the time, man. They got acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
But when the new company bought it, which is AQUATIC, everything got took down.
Yeah,
They didn't
everything.
change the whole plant to the cross to the other plant. Like they changed everything about everything. And like I said, they don't care nothing about you.
Kicked down the rug, see?
And you know, I thought down there to the employment office that it was a limit to where you work a person. And like I said, 14 to 13 hours every day, Monday through Saturday. That's
no break.
Man.
What you mean no breaks?
You get one break
You
in
get,
lunch.
one break.
That's it. But you working 14, 15
Hours a day.
Yeah.
So the people that y'all left out there,
they still doing it.
Still going through it. I talked to a fella this morning. And he's still going through it. And you know, he's trying to find a way out.
Yeah, there you go. And it is hard to find a way out when they working you like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't get out and go look for another job because you got to be on that job. You see what I'm saying? So you got to really find that way out.
Yeah.
And
You don't have an opportunity.
You don't have it.
If you do,
I work at
after
7
you
days
take a
week.
bath and you sleep.
Yeah, you sleep.
It's been nights. I didn't even eat. I just fall asleep.
It was nice. I looked just like this here.
All right.
You know what I mean? You couldn't go look for no job. And then that was the job that you depended on right now. Because you got your family, you got your kids, you got everybody.
okay, this is the last point, and I will close after this.
Okay.
Today is August the 6th, 4:59. We've been here for over an hour. And finally, what's your name?
Willie Akins Jr.
Do you have any problems with me publishing this on Facebook or going public with this to let people know you give me permission
I give you
to get to
permission.
Free Press? What's your name?
Kevin Wade.
Mr. Wade, you give me permission to do this.
Yes, sir.
Not for yourself, but for the people that you left behind, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Calvin Wade, I do give you permission to let my voice be heard. Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Ransom,
yes, sir.
will you bear witness
Oh, yeah.
that nobody in here was coerced to say what they said? They spoke from their own.
From their heart.
Do you have a problem with me using this?
Not at all.
Or even to send it to news media outlets
Not at all.
so they will know
For them,
what is going on in Titletown, USA,
tell them.
that nobody
Tell it.
probably would publish. But we report
Tell it.
what others ignore.
Tell it.
My beautiful brother,
Yes,
what's your
sir.
name?
James Joyce.
Do you give permission for us to do and to publish under the First Amendment of the Constitution that we have a right in this country, and we also are due to freedom of the press, even if they won't press our issues to the paper, we still have that right. So you give me that permission.
I do give you that permission.
All right. And what's your name?
My name is Daryl Davis.
Daryl Davis, you were the first one. They're gonna see you as a troublemaker because we would not have known about this
Right.
if you hadn't told somebody.
All right.
So I just want to know, do you also grant permission to release this and make it public for the good
Right.
of the people that work at this company? I can't think of the name of it. Do y'all know the name of it?
Bathcraft Aquatic 56.
The new name is what?
Aquatic 56.
Plant
Plant
56.
That's what the 56 stand for. That's the 56 plant.
Okay. And does anybody know the official address
1610 PD Roger Road.
That's it.
In
Okay.
Industrial Boulevard.
And where's the home office?
That's Tennessee.
Yes, that's in Tennessee.
Corporate.
Tennessee.
Corporate office in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay. They may need to know about this as well.
Please,
They may already know,
please.
but the people that works there, they're gonna have to do a little work for themselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
Once again, this is the Get To Free Press. I'm George Boston Rhymes. I'm a retired military veteran. I started this work in 1975. I did it before I got out of the military. If you go to kvci.blogspot.com, you'll see when I was writing, and I'm not a writer, but my heart had letters that I had to put on paper. And so that's what I did. And then I picked up a camera and started going video. And if you go to my site, you will find 4,000 subscribers and 200 or something. And I never asked for nobody to subscribe to my channel. I say, if you love the truth, subscribe. If you don't, you don't have to come back no more.
That's right.
And nearly 2 million views around the world, nearly 2 million. And I never asked for nobody to view a video. But if you want the truth and you want to know what's going on, and I want you to know, if you go to my channel, I was going to say something, I'm not going to say it. What I will say to you, when you go to my channel, you should be able to see my subscribers. And I want you to see the news media network that subscribed to my channel, and I didn't subscribe them. Okay. And I have sent my videos to Action News. I've gotten calls from Washington, D.C. I was called to Bentonville, Arkansas, the march on the home wall, a Walmart. Just last week, I was in Alabama, and I was Googling my name, and I found out that somebody referenced me. I haven't even mentioned this to you. They referenced me in a book that they wrote concerning Walmart. Got me in it I don't know how many times. I didn't even know it. And so people don't want us to pick up our camera and do our own reporting. But I'm here to tell you, that all that you hear in the news about police brutality, if it wasn't for the cell phone, it would have never been heard. But this right here is better than a 9mm.
That's right.
A 9mm gets you in jail, but this can get you free.
That's right.
All right.
Y'all have a nice day.
All right.
I appreciate your courage. I'm gonna set somebody to lead us in a prayer before we close.
Gracious Lord, we're so grateful to you for how good you've been to us, how you brought us from the earliest existence of our days up to and including this present time. Bless our efforts. Go with us, stand by us as we fight this battle. Help us to succeed in our efforts. Bless each one of these gentlemen here, bless their families, bless them individually, bless us collectively. Go with us, stand by us. And when our mission is done here on this earth, give us a home in your kingdom where we can praise your name forever. Amen.
And in the volume of sacred law, St. John 8:32 says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set and make you free. Then I went down the road a little further, and I talked to Dr. Matthew, chapter 24, verse 35. And it says, heaven and earth will pass away, but my word will stand forever.
Amen.
That's how powerful the scriptures are. Don't you remember, because you're from Brooks County, do you remember the race problem, right? Some people thought it couldn't be done for a black man to come from where he came. But see, God had a hand in the plan to prove that his word would stand forever. And it happened. Y'all have a nice day. God bless you. And thank you for your courage. Thank you, brothers. Peace be unto you.
Write it down and shut up.
That's the key word. Documentation. Thank you, sir.
God bless you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Peace be unto you. Y'all got my cards, right?
I got it. I'm finna go on that site tonight. Me and my wife finna go on.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly, so I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
It's just the truth. I think they got a lot of supporters supporting our president, and through him and his views, they just bold now. They just coming out and don't care. And this is one of the things that I see that, just show me they don't even, they don't hide it anymore. They don't care. They don't consider us as humans, I assume. I can't really tell you what they think, but I know what I think.
Right. Okay.
It's wrong.
All right. Thank you very much, my beautiful brother.
We were certainly concerned about that, Mr. Rhymes, and we had the police investigate that thing immediately as soon as we found out. I don't know whether you're aware of that or not, but we did. And they addressed the situation down there, and the business took care of it.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, and now
You're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
But to me, see, it makes me angry. Right now I'm getting mad now because of the fact it's not the flag, it's what's in front of it. In 2019, we still got this going on. We know it's not gonna disappear. We know it's gonna be, some of it gonna be swept up on the road. But for this to come in, you to come in, and the majority of this plant is ran by black. Blacks are more dominant in this plant. For them to come in and see this, you don't appreciate it. Because if you had, as you appreciate it, the person who seen this would have tore it down before the shift even got in. I would have took a picture as a supervisor. I would have took a picture, tore it down, and showed it to my supervisor. That's the proper way. I would have let everybody came in and got all riled up because of this ignorance. Now, as the plant manager or whoever I go to, he got to address this. Because you don't want the people to get riled up about this. Because that's like you spitting out their face.
We were certainly concerned about that, Mr. Rhymes, and we had the police investigate that thing immediately as soon as we found out. I don't know whether you're aware of that or not, but we did. And they addressed the situation down there, and the business took care of it.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, and now
You're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter. Who do we have to blame today? What does the citizens know? The citizens are still in pain. I have talked to approximately 15 people. Only 11 is willing to go on camera. If you go to Boston G.B.R, you will see them talk about it. Not only the Noose, but a whole lot of other stuff going on. And it's not a game, y'all. It's not a game.
We were certainly concerned about that, Mr. Rhymes, and we had the police investigate that thing immediately as soon as we found out. I don't know whether you're aware of that or not, but we did. And they addressed the situation down there, and the business took care of it.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, and now
You're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
Wouldn't care if I was a former employee or just an ordinary citizen that seen it. I do not appreciate this. I have kids, I have grandkids, I have loved ones, And I don't think anybody should have to go through what my grandparents, I thought my grandparents was the one that, you know, experienced this and went through this type of situation. I never thought I'll be one of the ones that face this.
We did do what we're supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
We were certainly concerned about that, Mr. Rhymes, and we had the police investigate that thing immediately as soon as we found out. I don't know whether you're aware of that or not, but we did. And they addressed the situation down there, and the business took care of it.
Mr. Mayor,
All right, and now
you're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
All right, and now
you're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter. What kind of image do you think a Noose in August of 2019 says about Titletown, USA, the football capital of the United States of America? What does that say to the city of Valdosta in your own words?
To me, it says it's going to hell.
We did do what we're supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
All right, and now
you're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
It's just the truth. I think they got a lot of supporters supporting our president, and through him and his views, they just bold now. They just coming out and don't care. And this is one of the things that I see that, you know, that show me they don't even, you know, they don't hide it anymore. They don't care. They don't consider us as humans, I assume. You know, I can't really tell you what they think, but I know what I think.
Right. Okay.
It's wrong.
All right. Thank you very much, my beautiful brother.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them look into it. And therefore, it was looked into. It was not taken lightly. So I want everybody to know that we did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
All right, and now
you're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
They don't care. They don't consider us as humans, I assume. You know, I can't really tell you what they think, but I know what I think.
Right. Okay.
It's wrong.
All right. Thank you very much, my beautiful brother.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them.
All right, and now
you're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you approve.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
But to me, see, it makes me angry. Right now, I'm getting mad now because of the fact it's not the flag, it's what's in front of it. In 2019, we still got this going on. We know it's not going to disappear. We know it's going to be, some of it going to be swept up on the road.
We did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So, I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
All right, and now
You're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you get through.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
For this to come in, you to come in, and the majority of this plant is ran by blacks. Blacks are more dominant in this plant. For them to come in and see this, you don't appreciate it. Because if you had, as you appreciate it, the person who seen this would have tore it down before the shift even got in. I would have took a picture as a supervisor. I would have took a picture, tore it down, and showed it to my supervisor. That's the proper way. I would have let everybody came in and got all riled up because of this ignorance. Now, as the plant manager or whoever I go to, he got to address this because you don't want the people to get riled up about this because that's like you spitting out their face.
We did do what we were supposed to do, and that we did exactly as we should have. So, I wanted to put that on record.
Public wasn't notified.
I'm gonna go back to that there. Like Calvin and all this was said, with that unemployment, like what I was saying, I was hurt. They didn't give me my short-term disability, short-term, did nothing. They didn't want to give me the unemployment until I went file on the medical. You see what I'm saying? They had them put quit on the paper, just like Calvin said. They put a lot for black men that to block them.
All right, and now
You're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you get through.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
Say that we do take everything serious. And that's why on August 6th, Chief Manahan was notified and went out there and actually assessed the situation, talked to the plant manager, the assistant plant manager, and also turned over to the FBI to let them 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 over to the FBI to let them.
All right, and now
You're not gonna let me say anything? Respond?
no, so you get through.
That's not good either.
Any other citizen would like?
It's a serious matter. Serious matter.
They don't care. They don't consider us as humans, I assume. You know, I can't really tell you what they think, but I know what I think. It's wrong. It's just the truth. I think they got a lot of supporters supporting our president, and through him and his views, they just bold now. They just coming out and don't care. And this is one of the things that I see that, you know, just show me they don't even, you know, they don't hide it anymore. They don't care. They don't consider us as humans, I assume. You know, I can't really tell you what they think, but I know what I think.
Right. Okay.
It's wrong.
All right. Thank you very much, my beautiful brother.
I'm